If your backyard looks like a jungle, you're probably not in Kansas. And if you've been scrolling online lately, you might think that jungle is crawling with impossibly huge snakes, lurking in every river, ready to make headlines. We've all seen them. The grainy cell phone videos, the breathless captions, the claims of a new world record. A monster anaconda, 50, 60, even 100 feet long, discovered by stunned construction workers or terrified fishermen. It's the kind of stuff that goes viral in a heartbeat. But before you start canceling your Amazon vacation, let's take a breath and separate the serpentine facts from the fiction. If your giant anaconda looks like a log wrapped in rope, you're watching viral nonsense. And if the headline screams, "record breaker," your skeptic alarm should be loud. Because the truth about these magnificent creatures is far more fascinating than any clickbait fantasy. So, what's the real story behind the world's heaviest snake? Let's dive in. First, let's get our species straight. The star of these viral tales is almost always the green anaconda, or the name is Greek for good swimmer, and they live up to it. These are semi-aquatic snakes, perfectly at home in the slow-moving rivers, swamps, and flooded grasslands of South America, primarily within the Amazon and Orinoco basins. They are members of the boa family, meaning they are non-venomous constrictors. They don't kill with a venomous bite, they kill with a hug. A very, very effective hug. Now you might also hear about the yellow anaconda. It's a smaller cousin, typically found further south. While still a large snake, it doesn't reach the colossal proportions of its green relative. The key difference is size and, well, color. Green anacondas have a dark, olive-green background with large circular black blotches along their back. This pattern is incredible camouflage, making a multi-hundred-pound animal practically invisible in the murky, leaf-littered water. One of the most striking features of anacondas is their extreme sexual dimorphism. That's a fancy way of saying the females are dramatically larger than the males. While a male might top out around 10 feet, a mature female is where the giant reputation comes from. They are significantly longer and vastly heavier and thicker. So when you hear about a truly massive anaconda, it's a safe bet you're talking about a female. This brings us to the heart of the hype: measurement. Quick reality check. Viral footage often stretches measurements and ignores context. When herpetologists, that's snake and reptile experts, measure a snake, they do it with scientific rigor. Experts measure stretched length, often with the snake sedated for safety, laid out straight on the ground next to a tape measure. It's a direct, verifiable, straight-line measurement from snout to tail tip. They don't make guesses based on a coiled-up snake. A curled-up anaconda is like a crumpled-up receipt. You have no idea how long it really is until you straighten it out. And weight estimates need scales, not eyeballing from a shaky clip. Estimating the weight of an animal this dense and muscular from a video is pure guesswork. Furthermore, camera angles are master illusionists. A phenomenon called forced perspective, where an object held close to the lens appears gigantic compared to the background, is the oldest trick in the book. That monster snake being held up by 5 triumphant men? It's almost always being pushed toward the camera to make it look far larger than it is. So, what are the real numbers? While claims of 30, 40, or 50-foot anacondas are common in folklore and online, there is no verified scientific evidence for a green anaconda exceeding 30 feet. True giant green anacondas over 20 feet are extremely rare. The heaviest scientifically verified specimen weighed in at around 227 kilograms, or 500 pounds. That is an unbelievably massive animal, the weight of 3 average men. But it's a far cry from the multi-ton monsters of internet lore. The hunt for a record-breaking anaconda is nothing new. For over a century, stories have circulated. In the early 20th century, the Wildlife Conservation Society even offered a huge cash reward equivalent to over $100,000 today for a live specimen over 30 feet. The prize was never claimed. More recently, a video from a construction site in Brazil went viral, claiming to show a 33-foot, 900-pound anaconda. The video was dramatic, showing the massive snake chained to a crane. But analysis quickly revealed the telltale signs of forced perspective. While undoubtedly a very large snake, likely a big female displaced by the construction, its size was clearly exaggerated for the camera. Most reported monsters end up being exaggerations. To be accepted by science, a record would require undeniable proof. Multiple witnesses, clear, unedited video with scale references, and ideally examination by qualified herpetologists. Until then, these claims remain just stories. So if they aren't 50 feet long, what makes them such dominant predators? It's their lifestyle. Anacondas are ambush predators. They spend most of their time in or near water, with just their eyes and nostrils peeking above the surface, waiting patiently. Their diet is broad and depends on their size. Younger anacondas might eat fish, birds, or small mammals. But a large, mature female is an apex predator, capable of taking much larger prey. Capybaras, the world's largest rodents, are a favorite meal. They also prey on deer, peccaries, and even caiman, a relative of the alligator. They strike with lightning speed, latching on with backward curving teeth, and immediately coiling their immensely powerful body around their prey. They don't crush bones, they constrict, tightening their coils every time the animal exhales until blood flow to the brain is cut off and the heart stops. It's a brutally efficient process. After a large meal, an anaconda might not eat again for weeks or even months. This is another reason for size misidentification. A snake that has just consumed a 100-pound capybara will have a massive bulge in its midsection, making it appear far heavier and more monstrous than it actually is. The same is true for pregnant females. Anacondas are ovoviviparous, meaning they give birth to live young after the eggs hatch inside the mother. A large female can carry dozens of babies, adding significant bulk and weight to her frame. So, many monster sightings are simply misidentified females with pregnancies making them look bigger. This temporary bulk, combined with camera tricks, is the recipe for a viral sensation. This brings us to a critical point: human interaction. The viral videos often show people poking, prodding, or restraining these animals. This is incredibly dangerous and irresponsible. Also, never handle wild snakes. An anaconda is a powerful wild animal. It is not a pet or a photo op. Provoking it can result in a defensive bite, and while not venomous, a bite from a large anaconda can cause severe lacerations and infections. More importantly, harassing wildlife is stressful and harmful to the animal. The Amazon is full of protected species, and in many regions, there are strict regulations against disturbing or harming them. Local laws matter. These animals are a vital part of their ecosystem, and their survival depends on us treating them with respect and giving them their space. Responsible ecotourism and scientific research are the only contexts where close interaction should ever occur, and always under the guidance of trained professionals. So how do we learn about these elusive giants without relying on shaky viral videos? Through patient, methodical science. Herpetologists working in the Amazon use a variety of techniques to study anacondas safely and ethically. This often involves capturing them, which is a team effort requiring skill and experience. Once secured, they can be measured, weighed, and sexed. Blood samples can be taken for genetic analysis, and they can be checked for parasites and overall health. One of the most powerful tools is telemetry. Scientists can surgically implant or externally attach a small radio transmitter to the snake. After the snake is released, researchers can track its movements from a boat or on foot using a directional antenna. This provides invaluable data on their home range, habitat use, and behavior, all without having to constantly recapture the animal. This is how we know about their seasonal movements, their breeding grounds, and their hunting patterns. It's slow, difficult work, but it's the only way to gather reliable information, which is then published in peer-reviewed journals for other scientists to scrutinize. So yeah, cool clip, dramatic claim, but take it with a grain of jungle mud. The next time you see a video of a supposedly record-breaking anaconda, put on your skeptic hat. Ask yourself, is the camera angle tricky? Is the snake being held toward the lens? Is it coiled up, making its length impossible to judge? Does it look unusually bulky, suggesting it just ate or is pregnant? And most importantly, is the claim backed by any scientific source, or just a sensational headline? The reality of the green anaconda is incredible enough. We don't need to exaggerate. We're talking about one of the planet's most powerful predators, a master of camouflage, a creature that can weigh 1/4 of a ton and swallow a deer whole. That's the real story, and it's far more compelling than any tall tale. Appreciating these animals means understanding them, not sensationalizing them. The truth is always out there, you just have to know how to look for it. Subscribe for the real science behind viral animal stories.